Hello and welcome. Today on BOI Weekly, Bank of Industry supports solar energy providers under its 6 billion naira solar energy fund. With this initiative, the Bank of Industry joins the global effort to create a cleaner and healthier environment from reliable and sustainable energy sources, both for commercial and residential end users. Oxano Solar Limited, Lagos, and Green Village Energy are just two of the energy companies that have enjoyed the Bank of Industry's intervention in the alternative energy sector. I'm Kayode Alayande. Welcome to the program. Described in plain terms, solar power is simply radiant energy emitted by the sun. This is derived by converting energy from sunlight into electricity, and this can be achieved either directly using photovoltaic cells, which convert sunlight into electricity, or indirectly using concentrated solar power, or a combination of both. But how much power can the sun provide? According to experts, the energy supply from the sun to the earth for 1 hour alone could meet the global energy needs for 1 year. This perhaps gives a sense of how much energy from the sun remain untapped. Despite the obvious challenges, there's an ongoing collaborative global effort to increase penetration and adoption of solar energy across the world, given its attendant merits. Solar energy is clean, renewable, provides freedom and control of usage, and progressively affordable. Fully abreast of the socio-economic potential and impact of solar energy, especially in a country like Nigeria, the Bank of Industry created a 6 billion naira solar energy fund. The intervention is aimed at providing reliable and affordable solar solution both for commercial and residential end users. Under the BOI Solar Energy Fund, businesses in the SME sector can access between 5 and 20 million naira, while large enterprises can access up to between 20 and 350 million naira. Oxano Solar Limited is one of them. The plant manager, Afunwa Izu Ipala, takes us on a tour of their production facility and the array of equipment and capacity made possible by the Bank of Industry.
This is a solar cell tester. Solar cell tester. It's used to test the electrical properties of these cells. Then after the testing, we can now sort it by their wattages, by how many watts each of the cell is. This is a sample of a solar cell. This is a monocrystalline solar cell, 5 BB, and this particular one is rated 5.3 watts for each of these ones. Once we confirm that what is rated is what we receive, we can now move it to the auto stringer where we do the series connection. This particular machine is what we use to cut solar cells. Assuming we are working on cut cell, the machine here, the fiber laser cutting machine, is what we use to cut the cell according to the dimensions that we decided to use. We can cut it into 2 or into 3. That's what this machine does. This is just like a clothes cutting machine. The material you see on top of it is what you see at the back of each solar panel. This is a back sheet. This is a back sheet. So what we do here is just to cut the back sheet according to dimension that we are using. Once we are done with the sorting of the cells, and we bring it in onto this place. This is the auto stringer. What it does basically is to string the cells. It does stabbing and series connection as well. So when you look at the machine, from that angle, the cells are in pieces. So what it does, it picks the cells and lay it up. Assuming we are working on a 60 cell panel, the machine is already programmed to string 10 cells, 10 strings together. That means in a particular string, 10 cells will be inside. If you just string 10, assuming we are working on 72 cells, it is string 12 together. So what it does is just to tap and to series at the same time. And once it's done, we take it up to the layout station. After stringing, we now take the string cells to this plate. So basically, this is where we lay up the panel. At first, you have to set the glass. After putting the glass, you clean it up because of dust. After laying the first one on the glass, you now have to arrange the strings of the cells. Normally, when facing this solar panel, when you are laying it up, by your left, the first string by your left should be the positive side, while the first string by your right should be the negative side. So what we do here is basically to do series and parallel connection. After arranging the panel and covering the panel, one of the quality checks we do here is actually to test for the voltage and the current of the panel. So once the voltage is tested, we have a range, a standard range that we are looking at. Once it's not up to that range, then we need to trace where the problem is coming from. So from the rack, that is where we take it to the laminating machine. This is a laminating machine. What it does actually is it solidifies the whole process that happens this place. Once it enters here and comes out, you have lesser chances of correction. Because once the machine enters here, everything has been binded and the possibility of doing correction or amendment is very low. So after the lamination, once we take out the panels from the lamination, we take them to the trolley where we stack them up before trimming. At this table, what we do here is just to trim the panels. When I say trimming, what I mean is by cutting off the excesses, the excess backsheet and the everfin. After the framing, we bring the panels here. First thing is for the panel to stay here and cure. That is to dry up. Then the other one is to fix the junction box, just like he's doing now. That is the junction box that he's trying to fix.
Next, the co-founder of Oksano Solar Limited, Mr. Chuks Umezulura, recounts the company's experience with the Bank of Industry as well as the growth of the sector over the years.
Our relationship with Bank of Industry, is a very interesting one. Before we started the plant, we approached BOI initially, it wasn't successful because we didn't have enough track record, and then the space, no one was doing it. I remember one thing they asked me, they said, if this thing can work, why is no one doing it? I told them, I said, I'm not sure why no one is doing it, but I know it can work. So they said, okay, we'd like to see you start first. So we started. And when we wanted to get, the auto stranger to automate some of our process and increase our output, we approached them again. Even though at that stage, I had some doubts, because based on the first experience, is it going to work? Are they going to listen to you? Because sometimes a lot of us have this notion, general notion. I don't know where we got it from, that until you know somebody inside, that you can't just go in and get something, but we started. There were bottlenecks initially, but at the end of the day, it worked. And I can tell you this, relationship with BOI is one that we treasure greatly. I mean, that's why, people that work with us closely will tell you that's why once we get their invoice, I don't like the day to pass. No matter where I am, I try to see that that payment is made that day. Are you getting me? Because I know that BOI is one partner, that we're going to need. I mean, just like a child, when you have your father, you want to, make your father always happy with you because you're going to need him sooner or later. So there are such partners that will look and say, okay, this partner is a partner that we need all along the journey. It's not just a one-off partner, So that's why we're taking a relationship with them, and I can tell you that, it's been good. When we started, in my fingers, I can count the number of players in the sector. But right now, there are some people that when I hear and they say they're assembling solar panel, when they say they're into solar sector, and I say, how come I haven't heard about it before? They say they just came in. So almost on a monthly basis, you get new companies coming into this space. That can only tell you one thing, that the sector is growing.
In terms of adoption, solar energy has grown and come of age in Nigeria. This is largely due to steady technological advancement over the years, and that's in addition to better end-user experience.
In the past 4 or 5 years, there have been tremendous changes in the perception of the solar industry in Nigeria. Because before then, people used to ask a lot of questions. Say, solar, does it work? Can it carry this? What can it carry? And all that. But that has changed now. A lot of people now believe that solar works. Most of the comments you get now is around the pricing. Can I afford it? So it's no longer a question of can it work or does it work. It's not a question of can I afford it. So that is progress. And also, you also observe that in the last 2-3 years, there's a lot of players coming into the industry. You also observe that in the past 1 to 2 years, there have also been a lot of foreign direct investment into the sector. If it's not viable, people won't be putting their monies inside it. So the industry is growing enormously, and the growth potentials, I can tell you, Nigeria is the biggest market in Africa, irrespective of what somebody thinks. But that is one thing that I know, and that's why, as a company, we're trying to position, to be able to, to take, the most benefit out of the market, because our market is huge, and it can only get better.
But how and when did Oxano Solar Limited get into manufacturing of solar panels?
Oxano Solar started, as a quest to try to solve some of the problems, that we encountered. Because I started out as a technician installing solar systems, and this will be my 13th year in the solar sector. So in the quest to provide solar solutions and all that, so we started coming across quality issues with most of the components that we're using. So we started thinking, and so, okay, can we have equipment to test some of these components so that we'll know, okay, what are we offering to our end users? Initially, we had challenges with batteries. We said, okay, that is normal, with inverters. But when we started having issues with solar panels, we said, no, that this will kill the sector. So in trying to see, okay, what the equipment we can get, we now realize that most of the equipment are very bulky. Like you saw the solar model, this testing machine was very bulky. We now said, okay, instead of buying this bulky equipment just for testing, why don't we just take a step further to also now go into the assembling proper? So that was what's better the idea, to begin the solar panel assembly.
So what's the company's growth plan?
Part of things are going to expand, okay, so we're going to move to a bigger factory, a bigger working space. We're also going to be automating a lot more of our process. So we're going to get fully automated line. So beyond just the increased output, efficiency also, goes higher. Because part of the things that we want to keep doing is to, stay abreast with changing trends, globally. Because, business have changed. Business have changed. Even though at the moment we are servicing Nigerian market, but the competitions we're facing is not just local competition. We're facing competition mostly coming from Asia. So what we'll do is that, so we'll keep, we'll keep abreast with those trends. So once we see a change in the trend, we also try to switch quickly, so that we don't lose that momentum. So that's one. So we're also now looking at the area where we can also begin to now export some of our solar panels to nearby African distant countries. So that is in the play for us.
The Oxano Solar Limited portfolio includes projects at Voice of Nigeria, Lugbe, Abuja, Olon Office, Bordilon, Ikoyi, COVID-19 Ward, National Orthopedic Hospital, Igbobi, ICU Infectious Disease Center, Yaba, and Greenage, Abraka, Delta State. The Bank of Industry's exploits in supporting entrepreneurs in the alternative renewable energy sector in Nigeria also reached two young men, Ifeanyi Orajaka, Managing Director, Green Village Electricity Projects Limited, and the co-founder, Chuka Eze, who doubles as the Director of Operations. It was not difficult for the Bank of Industry to trust this company run by two young men to execute the project because GVE Projects Limited has an impressive track record. It had already executed a number of rural electrification projects, one of which was funded by grants from the United States government as well as local and international recognition for its work in the alternative energy space, especially to rural communities. Ifeanyi Orajaka and his business partner, Chuka Eze, say their story is an inspiration to other young Nigerians and that the possibilities are endless, especially when the Bank of Industry is in the equation.
GVE, we are the leading and most innovative renewable energy solution provider in Nigeria and actually in West Africa. We pioneered the PV solar mini-grid technology in West Africa, and the company has won several awards, both national and international awards. I and the other co-founders, while we were still undergraduate students of Federal University of Technology, Owerri, we had in mind on building a career in the oil and gas industry, which is more or less the dream of every young engineer, and we were right on course on doing that. We had the privilege of having internship positions in the leading names in the oil and gas industry. But along the line, during one of the internships, on several field facility inspection visits, we discovered that several communities, neighboring these communities, were in abject energy poverty. Naturally, we would have walked away and maybe not observed, but something actually struck us, and we decided that this shouldn't be. Electricity in the 21st century can be attributed to socioeconomic development, can be attributed to a lot of factors and all that. So it actually got us to think on how best we can harness our young engineering skills as well as our social skills to provide them with a solution that will lift them away from energy poverty. UNDP and Bank of Industry Solar Energy Project actually came on board requesting for companies in the renewable energy space to put in their proposals for the energy access solar energy program that the bank was about rolling out across the 6 geopolitical zones, and being in line with what we are doing or what we already have on ground, we put in our proposal, and after a very competitive process which included several companies in the renewable energy space in the country, we were one of the 2 companies that were selected to implement that scheme, and with that we were able to get equity and concessional debt funding or financing from Bank of Industry in Nigeria to replicate the model in 3 additional communities. On a personal level, the support and the financing from Bank of Industry has been very phenomenal, because BOI has been more than just a financier to us. They have been more of a partner, willing and always ready to work towards achieving, helping us to grow as a company. And personally, because of the impact of BOI support and financing, we've been able to grow the business from just a team of 3 young undergraduate students to now a team of over 35 under our employ, and also directly or indirectly through the BOI support, we currently have over 550 jobs created along the value chain, either as revenue collectors in the communities where we have, or people who are employed as a result of having electricity for businesses in communities where we've impacted.
Chika Eze talks about the company's range of products and services.
We have our nano package, that's the latest 250 watts that can take you through lightning points and fan and charging mobile phones. That's basically designed for people that are very in remote locations that don't have a lot of electrical and electronics appliances. And we have the micro that is 1 kilowatt system, and that can add television to the bouquet. And then you go that high to when you get the 3 kilowatt system that can power up your television, your refrigerator, and to 5 kilowatt systems that can power up your air conditioners, and up to 10 kilowatt system that can carry the whole house. But basically for an average urban location, 3 kilowatt system is ideal for them. Talking about our various products, GV offers quite variety range so that every customer range can have something to afford. Starting from the smallest, which is the Pico. The Pico is actually a 250 watt system that can power up your laptop, phone charging, lightning system. It's basically designed for very small businesses, really like kiosks and maybe a barber shop, to micro systems for mini flats in the cities. Our systems might a little bit be more expensive than regular what you get in the open markets and all of that. On our products, the solar panels, we offer 25 years warranty. For the batteries, we offer 5 years warranty. And for the other equipment, the inverters, 1 year warranty on the inverters, yeah. So what happens to our customers when after installation they need to ask questions or have problem with their installation? EGV offers a robust after sales support, so we have field engineers all over the country. So basically we get your questions and your concerns sorted out as fast as possible. Most times we try to do that within 24 hours.
For the Bank of Industry, the race to enable the acquisition of reliable solar solutions towards a cleaner, healthier environment and a greener Nigeria is on. So far, the bank has supported several solar-related projects in Niger, Kaduna, Edo, Anambra, Gombe and Osun states, with more to come. There you go. Oksano Solar Limited and Green Village Energy provide clean power both for urban and rural dwellers alike. And they can actually meet you where you are depending on your energy needs and, of course, budget. You'll find a package that suits your lifestyle and business with them. For more, you can visit their website at oksanosolar.com and gvegroup.com respectively. You can also get support for your own business by walking into any of the Bank of Industry's branches closest to you. Otherwise, visit their website at boi.ng. Don't forget to tweet at me at KAY Alayande as well as the Bank of Industry at BOI Nigeria, should you have any further inquiries. Well, that will be our package for today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.